Nerd Podcast. I am your main host, Kyle, along with my cinema co-hosts, Greg and Dan.
How you doing?
Hello.
Let's start with the big news of the day.
What, Ezra Miller?
No, that's secondary news. The first thing is, happy birthday to Dan.
Oh.
I should.
He's 162. Celebrating his 45th birthday. Old man Dan.
Oh, September birthday. Oh, you're not September. Never mind.
Nope. I'm not September birthday, you losers. I'm May.
September 15th.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Good job.
happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Greg. Good to see you.
Yeah, right.
Well, I was on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I was on
Happy birthday,
vacation.
Greg,
I was
too,
on
so,
vacation for a while.
You know,
so
happy birthday to my two co-hosts.
traveling across the country.
You guys didn't wish me happy birthday when we filmed on my birthday.
Number one,
Did we do it on your
on Facebook, so I have no idea.
Were we here on your birthday?
We were here like the day after.
Oh, shut up.
What's the day of your
It's a week
I
after.
wish you had a birthday every year when I wake up. Be
Yeah, I
quiet.
know. So,
What's the literal day I put on my calendar?
May 27th. May 27th.
So, in actual cinema news, we'll start with the smaller one, the one I talked to you about with Brie Larson, with the interview she did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is there another one?
Yes, but this is actually, I liked her for it because in her interview, they straight asked her, "What's next for Captain Marvel?" And she looked right at the interviewer and said, nothing. She actually said, "I think I'm done with the role, unless there's actual people who want to see me and there's, who want to see me portray this role, but I am kind of done with this role as it stands." She acknowledged that she caused way too much drama and way too much bullcrap, so she is taking a bow out. So I give her respect that she's realizing her faults and trying to back out and not trying.
Now she's just doing car commercials.
Yeah, I'd rather her do that than try to lean in and be like, "No, I was right. So that was cool. The other thing, as Greg's reading right now, is the Ezra Miller situation.
Wonky, man. He's bat crazy.
Yes. So.
Did you read the part about Susan Sarandon?
No, I missed that. I kind of got on
She didn't invite him to a dinner party, and so he demanded she come pay tribute to him at the altar. like he's God.
Yeah, well, he believed. That was the other thing I was going to talk about. He believed. I'm sorry. Let me use the proper pronoun because I just don't want to be that guy. They, them, because he identifies as they, them. They believe that
I'm sorry, I'm not using that.
no.
I'm in a time warp. I just remember my schooling from back in the day.
So
I'm not saying they them either.
I don't know. In my context of this is all the voices in his head, so they're a team. So they.
Well, he definitely has some
voices.
He definitely has some voices in his head, but he definitely has some mental illness.
Oh, absolutely,
without a doubt, has some problems.
Well, I'm not doubting that. I'm just.
He does believe that he is the Messiah and that the Flash is the next Jesus.
No, the article I read on RollingStone.com was talking about how there's this guy walking around whispering in his ear that he was the Messiah and stuff. So where did this come from? Did he just hire some dude and he sabotaged him for some reason?
Well, yeah.
Or was one of his enemies come in and mess with him because he knew he had stability
problem. According to this little news thing, he has like a little cult.
Yeah, he started
like a bunch of people that like believe he's the freaking
Messiah. Yeah.
Messiah.
So I'm wondering.
There's a lot of people.
Well, listen.
There's a lot of people. That
I mean,
a lot of stupid
yeah.
things.
I mean, there's been a lot of big cults over the years. I mean, you had the Heaven's Gate people.
Yeah,
and it's all in California.
Well,
or they come from California.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And then they move out to the desert.
Or what was Heaven's Gate? Was the Kool-Aid? What name of that cult?
With the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, the grape Kool-Aid in South America.
Well, they went to South America. Well, they were in America, and then they got kind of got driven out.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, did you know that one, like half the people didn't even want to drink the Kool-Aid, and he had like mercenaries surrounding him. Whoever didn't drink got
because
shot.
That was I think it was in Chile, because the dictator hosted that guy.
Yeah.
Pinochet.
Whoever didn't drink got shot.
Yeah.
Like some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think he gave the dictator a bunch of money.
But didn't the U.S. Army finally went in and helped.
He ended up
Yeah, right.
later, but
So
Well, yeah, after everything
he
was
a
already
dictator
done.
we supported, and then we didn't support him anymore.
Right.
yeah. So
Basically.
not only is Ezra Miller the worst Flash of all 2 or 3 there ever been,
Well,
he is the nut.
he needs to be admitted.
He
Like,
does. And I'm really kind of
He's
hoping.
worse than the guy from the early '90s that had one season. Remember that guy? Ever seen the first Flash show? Terrible.
It's terrible.
Had a muscle suit.
Terrible. Muscle suit, like the one Sheldon wears in Big
Yeah,
Bang
the
Theory.
90s. You remember the 90s one? Like, no, you didn't watch
Nah,
it.
I wasn't into that stuff as a kid.
So,
I'll look it up.
it was. Oh yes, please do.
I'm not
So-
into that stuff now. You think I'm into that stuff when I was a
No,
kid?
no, we're just going to show you the muscle suit. It's funny.
Yeah. The
Oh,
muscle suit.
I
The muscle suit is a joy.
I've seen some bad muscle suits.
Oh, this was bad. This was the early '90s when they were really bad. So while Dan's finding that, I met Kevin Smith.
Who?
Kevin Smith.
See? He doesn't know any of this stuff.
Because
Come on, explain, Kyle.
Clerks.
Oh, yeah,
Clerks
yeah,
2,
okay,
The
yep.
one who plays Dogma.
Yep.
The one who plays Silent Bob.
Okay.
The director.
Yep.
I met him on the streets.
I just don't know him by his name.
Yeah, that's fine. Silent Bob. I'll just use Silent Bob.
There you go.
Oh,
Well, you can use Kevin Smith now.
Yeah,
Now that
Kevin.
I heard the name.
So, you know about the whole DC situation. We're not going to get into details about that. Just, I was in DC, wandering town, and I was walking north towards the one area to go to a bar. And as I was walking across this field that was right across from me that I had to walk across to get there, I was like, oh, that dude has a sweet looking Silent Bob hoodie on. And then he got a little closer. It's like, oh, he really kind of looks like Kevin Smith. I wonder if he's like a, impressionist or something like that. Heading
Right.
towards downtown to. And then I was like, then I heard him talk, and I was like, oh, I think that is actually Kevin Smith. And the problem is, I didn't say anything. I got starstruck,
Oh, man.
but he looked up as I got starstruck and saw me look at him. And he's now under the impression, like, I better say something, or this large black guy's going to recognize me or murder me. One of the two. So he's like, hey, you want a picture? And I was like, yes. Yes, I do. And I was embarrassed because I usually don't get starstruck. I've met a couple of celebrities, but I think it was just starstruck. Starstruck. So I think my biggest issue with that is because it was so random. I didn't have like any kind of way to be like, oh, it's Kevin Smith. Like, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
thrown on the spot.
I don't get that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't like get completely goofy, but I was kind of like,
You apparently did. You couldn't talk.
no, I did. I eventually got words out.
Eventually, I got words out.
But it's just one of those situations where you see something you weren't prepared for, so you don't have like the thing to say.
Right.
So he's like, I hope you don't mind that I have fat guy sweat on me. I was like, I'm twice as big as you. Like, I'm fat and sweaty too. It's hot out. So he took pictures of me.
Did you ask him what he was doing in DC?
Well, no, I figured that out real quickly because Clerks 3 released. So I think he was there doing the like a release party there
Yeah.
at like one of the big theaters. Well, Cheetah told me that too. She told me later that day. She's like, yeah, he was there for release for the new movie.
So they got all the original actors back?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, so, it was really cool. I was really surprised. I don't know if it was just he didn't like. I don't think he was expecting to be recognized.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think he just wanted to be like ignore this big large black guy who recognizes me. So, I'm really thankful that he took the picture with me and was just so chill. I think he just kind of recognized like, hey, this dude knows who I am, and
Right.
and he offered the pictures. Like if he just would have waved hi to me and not said a word, I would have been okay with that too.
Right.
But the fact that I got pictures with him was really cool.
You didn't tell me any of this. I was talking to you while you were in DC.
Yeah, because you don't know who Kevin Smith is. Right off the bat.
You literally, all you literally had to say was Clerks.
Yes, but I also don't. I don't.
I was kind of had a crush on Rosario Dawson.
I know you did. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping like because I sent him like, hey, thank you for the pictures and stuff on his Twitter, and he was really quick to reply like, hey.
Oh, nice.
He's very active with his fan base, so that's cool. I'm hoping I can maybe snag him into like a actual sit down, like a interview over Skype or something and just get to.
That's never gonna happen.
I was still on vacation when you were in DC, right?
No, you.
I was
came
just getting
then
back.
when you were
Yeah,
sick.
okay.
That might happen. He actually does a lot of cool stuff like that for lower end things just to be cool. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not like hoping. Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping, but I'm not like desperate.
Yeah,
for it.
right.
Yeah, you better stop that.
Stop hoping.
Look, I'm doing reverse psychology.
Give up on hope.
Maybe, maybe that'll work.
Maybe it
Right.
works.
Thank you for your positive karma. Did you show him the muscle suit yet?
I'm trying to
He's
find
trying
it.
to find it. He can't find
All
it.
right.
It's ridiculous.
So that was really cool. I'm actually getting
Oh.
ready to go see Clerks 3. Getting to meet him. I wanted to go back and watch his Masters of the Universe.
Is Clerks 3 out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Is it?
Yeah, it came out 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yep. So I'm actually really gonna go watch his Masters of the Universe series again, even though I have my things I didn't like about it.
What, the fact that the main female character has no sympathy for the feelings
Anything,
of a king and queen who just lost their son.
And she
Yeah.
lost her friend, but she was so hung up that people lied to him about being He-Man. That
So
she
it was all
she
about
just
her.
quit everybody and let the world. Like that, I think was the only thing I really didn't like about that.
What? The fact that she was totally selfish and didn't care about anybody but herself?
Oh, you didn't like
The
that?
extreme narcissism
Yes.
wasn't a problem?
I think that's the only flaw with that show. I felt like I think that's
that's like the whole reason aren't heroes supposed to be unselfish slightly?
yes.
Not just like care
Well, I
about
mean,
me.
Deadpool.
I mean, they went to
Deadpool's. He's not a hero though.
yeah. He just does
He's
whatever he
an
feels like when he
anti-hero.
feels like it. So,
He does what he has to do.
yeah. But with his directing style, I think he could do other shows, and I'd like him to bring back some of the other cartoons from around that time, like Silverhawks. You have no idea.
No.
That's a ridiculous show in the first place. So.
Exactly, and I feel like he could do just to it. Or Thundercats. I guess-
Thunder.
Yeah, but that wasn't nearly as goody two shoes as He-Man.
Every time I hear Thundercats, I think of a robot chicken.
Yep. It's just like Family Guy. Everything you hear that you know you saw on Family Guy, you think about Family Guy.
Oh, I mean, I grew up watching. I watched that show, Thundercats. I
Yeah,
watched
I
it
know.
growing up. For
But,
some reason, I always think of
Yeah.
robot
I
chicken.
think he could do that. What's another show of that caliber? They already just did a Voltron. They already did a She-Ra. So that's too repeaty.
I feel like everything's getting remake. Oh,
Ooh, Savage Dragon.
speaking of which, while I was on vacation, I was looking it up.
She-Ra could be redone again.
You didn't like
Because
it.
that's just one interpretation of it.
That's fair.
Because it was nothing like the old show.
That's
Really.
fair. Okay.
Really.
Fair enough. But what were you saying?
The Monsters movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing actually bad things about it. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love how bad it was.
It's like almost blur. It has like a velvety.
It looks
Zach
suede. It looks
Brannigan.
like it's almost suede.
yeah, Zach Brannigan.
Yeah, Suede's
It's
probably
not.
more.
It's
Velour. But I'm hearing bad reviews about it already.
not even out yet.
I know, but like people were
what's not
saying
out
that
yet?
it's.
The Monsters.
But people were like,
Remake.
like they do like the pre-release crap.
Yeah.
People were saying it's not good.
Look, it tends to.
Well,
As far as I can tell, the reviews are either really positive or really negative.
yeah, like
people- And
Just from watching the trailer, I was excited about the Monsters, but watching the trailer, I'm not excited about.
Well,
watching it.
as far as like the
well, the
reviews
one
go,
where they do the reenactment of the intro of the show.
Yeah.
I am, because that's kind of what happened in the show. Like, I'm hoping it holds true to the show more than trying to be a modern uptake. I
Because the
hope-
thing about everything on the internet is either really negative, really positive.
Yeah.
That gets more eyeballs. That's-
Well, we were actually talking about something like that this morning. We were talking about She-Hulk, since you watched the first 2 episodes, and we're getting ready to watch the other ones. Me and Dan were talking about how it's really negative on some things for no reason.
I didn't think it was a bad show.
no, it's not.
I mean,
But,
it has its moments.
Like,
It's
one
funny.
of the
It has
things
its
we
funny
saw
moments.
was, like, as soon as they do anything that's remotely, like, woke in aspect, like, these people...
There's not even anything woke in it, really.
Yeah, like, yeah, but I'm saying, like,
It's
anything that can-
feminist, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
but then, like, they go
Well, even
crazy.
it's not even too bad with the feminist.
No,
it's
it
not even
isn't.
too bad with the
Not
feminist
really. It's
stuff.
just kind of
No,
like
it's just tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah, right.
good times, lawyer show, trying to, with superheroes in it, happily.
Right.
But people are, like you said, people are harsh. And
it's
like,
mostly guys on like YouTube who the whole brand is anti everything woke, I guess.
yeah,
So
where they
they're
just
trying
want
to
like,
keep their fan base happy. I don't
Yeah,
know
like,
what
oh, this
exactly.
person's speaking out against slavery. Ah! Yeah, I see this.
You think that's a good trailer?
Wait, no. Pause that. Can't play it on here because then if I get on YouTube, it'll give me a copyright strike. No. Good thing it was under 15 seconds. So, that's like the cutoff. It's like 15 seconds max. So, like you started watching. You were okay with it. You weren't like, this is great. This is dumb.
Oh yeah, it was
It's
alright.
in between.
It's
It's
not like
fine.
my favorite thing. It's
It's
not
fine.
horrible
Like, there were some good parts, like the whole making fun of the Edward Norton.
though. Yeah, that was a good little line.
that
they
was a
threw in
nice little
there.
joke
Yeah.
thrown in there.
I mean, it has its funny moments.
Abomination's 7 soulmates that are gonna buy him a
A ranch with like 100 acres.
all crazy and stuff.
You know, his little thing. Like, I was a totally different person back then, literally. You know, like it was like everyone knew that
That was a good
Edward
line.
Norton was the whole.
Well, that's also possible because Marvel, you can evolve, I guess.
Well, I think it was more of a throw at that Edward
Yeah,
Norton.
Edward
Edward
Norton.
Norton was the one that fought him in the movie.
Yeah, and who's also better?
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yes, I know. You like the you like the Edward Norton.
Because there's
Bruce
more
Banner.
of a dichotomy between the shy scientist and rage monster kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas Ruffalo's always like self-assured, knows exactly what he's doing.
Like, oh, I'm gonna turn
I'm
into
already
the other
control
guy.
the monster, blah, blah, blah.
I'm getting a little excited. yeah. Where Edward Norton's like, oh my god, this girl's half naked. Oh, I better slow myself down.
That was a little too far though.
What? Oh, with the movie?
Yeah, it was all
When they
about
went to-
heart rate.
Yeah, because he was making out with her, and then his heart rate got going too fast because he was
fairly
too excited.
confident
He control that.
he was with Betty before, and he never went into rage mode, as far as I can tell.
That'd be a real short comic. Like, there's some
Then
Betty
again,
over
it came out in the
there.
early '60s, so they could have. It's like the marriage of Superman. They could have delayed that for 30 years, or whatever.
Right?
So that was more like 50 years, but still,
Yeah,
whatever.
right. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad that I'm finding little bits and pieces of nerd stuff that you're okay with.
Well, I mean, I'm not against all of it. I mean, I never really liked the whole. They're so powerful that. You know what I mean? I
You
never
hate the
liked-
Superman theory.
Right.
Like, and I get why a lot of people like. I'm not a fan of Superman, but for what he is, I do appreciate him because his whole concept is the living God in a fact, like
Right.
and he has all this power, but he never is going to abuse it
Well, yeah. I mean, I like that.
unless
part.
there's like what kryptonite drives him crazy? Red kryptonite?
Look, they usually don't have any kryptonite but green kryptonite. All the other ones are just a Smallville thing, mostly.
Yeah, like crazy stuff.
Smallville.
Like
No, they had all the kryptonite.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Smallville.
there's like blue one that turns his skin translucent, and then his powers go out of control for a while, so he starts shooting lasers
The
uncontrollably. out of his
primary
eyes.
ones are green and red. Red makes them kind of like evil more.
And then
But-
there was like a blue one that, like I said,
But-
turned his skin
But
invisible.
all the other ones, other than green, make no sense
That's
to me.
right.
Because only Kryptonians are affected by green. It makes them weak. That's fine.
Right.
Because the only reason they exist is because they made them way too powerful in the 50s.
Like the
Right.
one time he sneezed and destroyed.
He used to
universe.
reset a solar system by like pulling the planets back into place.
Oh no! Their son died, so he had the Green Lantern create a giant chain for all the planets, and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
moved them to another solar system, and then he moved all the other planets around so they never collide each other. He made a double wide solar system because he could.
So the first Superman movie had that stuff in it. Like when he made the plan go backwards,
Yeah,
and somehow
yeah,
time
yeah.
went backwards. Still,
Yeah.
which makes
Yeah.
no
He,
sense.
he reversed the spin of the Earth.
Even though that would just throw everybody. In
Yeah, right.
space. Whatever.
for a split second,
Well, yeah, because it has to stop and then start turning the other
so
way.
everyone would float up and then crash down and die. And they wouldn't even just crash down like regularly because he's reversed. They probably
What
get
if-
sucked down a little
What if,
faster.
what if he spun it too fast? Now everyone's like,
It's crushed. Oh.
Plus,
how did he know when to stop?
it's magic. It's fine. It was Silver Age Superman. You could do everything you wanted.
I love Superman. Superman. But I like the whole concept of like he's just he's a mama's boy, a parent's boy. Like he was a small town guy, and he just does everything the right way because he was raised that way.
I'm not saying there's not aspects I don't like about it. It's just like
it doesn't appeal to you because of that.
Right.
Like, there's no tension.
right.
Like
That's probably why you'd like Lobo.
oh, you would love Lobo.
Lobo.
He's like a space biker who
Okay.
he was from a race that like heal real fast, and he hated everybody because he thought they were like goody two shoes. So
Yeah.
he killed everybody else.
Yeah. In the first grade.
And it's really hard to kill one if they can come back with like a drop of blood and stuff. So
Oh, right.
like basically threw a bunch of
Kinda like
nukes at the
Cell.
planet.
Yeah. So
I forgive his plan.
and
And he loves-
how he destroyed his planet, which was the best. It was his first grade science fair project. Created a super nuke and then set it off on his planet from a remote another planet just to prove he could do it.
Oh yeah, and the only person who survived was first grade teacher.
It was his
His
grade.
first grade teacher.
Yeah, because she I don't know, she survived because then there was because he's a bounty hunter. Like
Yeah.
that's his big shtick, is he's a bounty hunter. So one of the comic books, he had to find her and he dragged her across space where everyone's trying to kill her, and she was annoying him. So he just kept repeatedly chopping off her arms and legs and gagging her with them to keep her quiet until they grew back.
Okay.
Lobo is
He started out as kind of they were trying to make a character kind of like Wolverine,
for DC.
but they went totally in another direction.
Yeah, they went like really crazy space stuff. But I love Lobo as a character.
I'll have to look it up.
He likes his one particular diner and his space dolphins.
Yeah, he has space dolphins.
Space
and his bike.
dolphins.
He loves his
He
bike.
just like doesn't like his own race mostly. He just has nothing to do with anybody else really. It's it's weird.
So he's kind of like Deadpool in that aspect. He'll do what he wants to.
And he also came out about late 80s, early 90s.
yeah, so he's right up your alley with like Deadpool and stuff.
Got it.
He is now. The problem is they don't do enough with him, so I don't ever.
Yeah.
He didn't not like a movie coming out about him. Yeah,
No.
right.
The only
Yeah.
There
reason I
should
mentioned
be.
it
They
because-
talked about it.
The only reason I mentioned it is because he's almost always in Superman stuff.
Yeah,
Oh.
because he usually takes on Superman because he's almost as physically strong as Superman.
He's not nearly as strong as Superman.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no.
Superman.
I
Can
will
move
die
a
on
planet
this
by
nerd.
himself.
I will die on this nerd hill.
Then you do that.
But yeah, like Lobo is really good because they like get into fights all the time, and Superman literally can never really do too much because Lobo heals from it or just comes
Usually he just throws him into
space. Yeah,
'cause
he'll
he
punch
can't
him into
fly.
space and then just wait for him to come back eventually.
Right.
because he can't fly. So.
Yeah, that's why he has his space motorcycle. Oh, Lobo's great.
Yeah, because the most recent thing was the Man of Tomorrow, the cartoon. Lobo was in that.
I thought there was also Young Justice. They did really good with them.
Oh, okay.
And there was also a recent one where there was like Krypton. It's a weird show. Like it was
That
it was another one of those weird WB shows where they try to get something to stick and it doesn't.
The problem with those shows is that they don't have the budget for any good special effects.
Yeah.
So they just make
They just
The-
paint
they
some
just-
schlub.
they just make Krypton look like the Pacific Northwest for some reason. Like almost all the scenes were in the woods.
yeah,
It didn't make
Literally.
any sense.
yeah, and then
I'm like, Krypton looks nothing like anything on Earth.
right. That's the whole point.
It's all like the whole planet was.
Well, that's why they
basically
need to terraform it. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they were terraformed to whatever they wanted. It to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So they did do a guy who he kind of looked like Lobo if Lobo stopped working out, got small.
So
was
scrawny.
he a skinny, dopey, blonde-looking guy?
Yes, but he wasn't terrible. Like he did decent, but without the makeup and the bigger budget, he was never going to pull it off. You know.
Right.
So Lobo's awesome.
Martian Manhunter is good too.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter's really
But
awesome.
it's hard to
It's hard to do a movie with him
because he's like old school science fiction, like an alien infiltrating society sort of thing. But except he's not evil. He's not like it's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
and he can actually just straight up beat Superman in a fight. So, and his biggest weakness this time was fire. Like he would freak out at fire.
Yeah.
So how they,
But it was like a psychic phenomenon.
yeah. So they tried to get rid of it by
Psychosomatic thing.
saying it was a psychosomatic thing that was put into his mind. the reason why he was so messed up by fire. And then after they got through with getting rid of that, and he no longer had a weakness, they're like, well, nothing we can do with him. So they put him on the moon where he continuously eats Oreos.
Continuously eats
No,
Oreos.
he was on Mars.
Was it Mars? Okay. They put him on Mars where he
I was-
continuously eats
There
Oreos.
was one part where Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner came by with his ton of Oreos or whatever.
Yeah. Like they just bring him a whole truck full of Oreos.
It's really dumb
Yeah.
because he got too powerful, so they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah. It's you hit that brick wall where you can't do anything. Like
Right.
they do with Superman. So they create Doomsday or Kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Magic. So that. So now we're going to get into the movie that we waited 4 weeks to watch.
4 weeks. Listen, I wasn't watching it when I was on vacation.
It honestly wasn't worth it, but okay.
I really didn't watch much TV at all when I was on vacation.
Yeah. So we watched Palm Springs, a 2020 movie with Adam Sandberg. That's Groundhog's Day, but less thought out, I guess.
Oh.
We almost quit. We were taking bets when we were watching it to see when you quit watching it, Dan. Because we were like about to quit in the first 10 minutes.
I hated the first.
Greg goes,
It was really
the
boring.
first 5 minutes. I hated.
Nothing was
I
going
hated
on
it.
at all.
just the whole weird
Like the
scene
girl-
with the girl, at
Like the
beginning.
girlfriend being. Like you know.
Yeah,
Well, that and like she was annoying.
yeah. Greg's like, if we have to go through this,
My first reaction was, why is he with her?
right?
Well, that's why I think all of our reactions.
Greg sat there and goes, if we go through this again, I'm turning this off.
Horrible. It's a horrible opening scene. Horrible.
Yeah.
And there's the part where, never mind. You remember after they did it, and then he didn't, finish, and then he's like standing there.
That was a weird part too.
It was
Yeah.
very
And
weird.
you go, why is that in here?
Yeah, very
it was
odd.
very unnecessary.
And then the rest of the movie was nothing like it.
No,
No.
yeah, it was.
Thankfully.
Did they want a bad taste in your mouth at the beginning?
Yeah, I
and then
guess.
Try to say,
Because I'd have shut it off if we had to keep watching that every.
Just because it's
10
stupid
minutes.
and there's no purpose.
So it had it. I mean, it had its funny moments.
We'll do a quick synopsis. So the whole concept is Andy Samberg's character walked into a cave he found after a
Yeah, but they
wedding.
don't even explain the cave.
Yeah, they don't explain nothing. But the whole
It was like it wasn't even a cave until the earthquake happened.
yeah,
And
it
just
wasn't
like
there, just-
the
it's just
earthquake
there.
happens and
And then-
this cave forms.
it's him and that other guy got drunk.
Well,
Well, no,
he
that
was in the cave.
That was already him.
He was in the
repeating a
cave
bunch.
before,
Oh.
and they got messed up on all kinds of stuff. And he was like, I
Drugs
want never.
and stuff.
And he said he had mentioned that I never want
Never want this day to end.
never want this day to end. So Andy Samberg took him to the cave.
So he'd have somebody he could spend these days over and over with, and then the guy didn't appreciate it
At all.
right? So the beginning of the movie is him just doing stuff and he's talking, but not really showing. Like not till about halfway, about 10 minutes into it, where it starts showing that he knows what's going to happen before it happens. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
the
when
dancing
he does
scene
the
and then-
dancing. Yeah.
well, no,
right.
sorry, when he gives the speech, when he starts with the speech.
Well, no, even in the speech, you really don't know because it shows the sister like really nervous, like she doesn't want to give a speech, and like Andy Samberg runs up and grabs the mic.
And
So you
just-
don't really know that he knows what's going on yet, and until like what you said, they start dancing, and he knows what everyone's dance moves are, and he like he's copying them as they're doing
Yeah,
it.
perfectly.
Yeah, right.
I knew something was wrong right when he was like just being a schlub at the ceremony.
Yeah, he was like hammered.
It was
Yeah.
just like in a
Hawaiian shirt.
Hawaiian shirt
Yeah.
and like opening
He had,
up
like,
the beer in the
he had,
middle
like-
of the valves.
He had
and,
like shorts and a flip flops on.
Yeah, he looked like a very discount me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, really did. A white skinny version of Kyle.
Yeah, right. Because I at least wear nice shorts with my Hawaiian shirt.
you'd wear a button-up shirt and a tie with flip-flops. I know you would.
I would. I have.
With long jean shorts.
They go past the knee. They count.
They're slacks, I guess.
They're almost down to my shins.
So
They're high waters.
some of the parts I liked most in that movie.
Oh, we need to finish the synopsis. now.
Okay, so-
we're halfway through it.
He
So-
apparently finds his cave that allows him to repeat the days, and we get to him at the very beginning of the movie. He's already repeated this day
Over and over and over again.
however many
Thousands of days.
Yeah. So
So he meets the sister of the wife.
that's getting married. Yes.
Right. Convinces her. They go out in the desert together. They're making out. Things are getting frisky, and the guy that he had drug into the cave in the beginning hunts him down on occasion.
Yeah.
And shoots him full of arrows.
Yeah.
I love that. He's like, I love it. He took off his thing. He's like, you wear shorts underneath. He goes, you wear boxers underneath your swim trunks? He goes, yeah, I do. So, and then all of a sudden, an arrow hits him right.
He's like, doesn't everybody? And then all of a sudden, an arrow hits him in the back of the arm.
He's like, what's the guy's name? I forget.
Roy.
He's like, Roy.
I think I can
Every
smell
time,
you.
What is wrong with you? And he's not like really angry about it.
And he starts running, and then all of a sudden, he's like, I think I lost him. And he gets hit in the leg.
He's like, you're such a. What is wrong with you?
He's like, I knew I could smell you.
So then,
So then
As-
they run into the cave because it resets time when you walk into it.
Yep.
So as he's running into the cave, the girl's following him. Obviously, she's trying
And
to
he
make.
tells
she's
her
trying
not to come
yeah,
in
right.
and
He
all
tells her
that.
not
She
to
does.
follow him.
She just does the opposite of what she's told,
Obviously,
and she gets stuck in the time loop.
right.
then-
She's stuck in the same day over and over again
And
with
she
Andy Samberg.
Tries to drown him in the first couple days.
Yeah,
She like hits him in the head with a beer can.
Yeah.
Bunch of beer.
yeah, she's freaking out,
She threw him.
and then
And then the second day, she comes in, and then her sister ends up hitting her face on the concrete.
Oh, that's a great
Bust her
one.
teeth
yeah.
out.
Yeah, smashed her teeth right out. That was a good part.
And then the first couple days that she's uneasy about this, she's trying to end the loop already.
And then they're in a car scene where she's gonna crash the car.
Because she's trying to end
He
the
goes,
loop.
could we just bypass his face?
yeah, because he's obviously been through it. Because she said, "What if I kill myself?" He goes, "Oh no, I've tried that plenty of times."
He's like, he like leans his head against the dash. He goes, "What are you doing? Making it quick."
He's like, "I'm just gonna make it quicker."
He goes, "Pain's still a
he
thing."
goes, "We might wake up tomorrow." I go, "It still hurts." He goes, "You ever die in an ICU?"
Then that's where you find
So
out Roy was angry at him. It's because he got burned almost alive, but
Yeah.
didn't die, so he's in the hospital
Yeah, oh, yeah.
the rest of the day or whatever.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was. Oh, Roy kept killing him in different ways, and then when she finally hit him with the car where he suffered, he kind of put everything in
Well,
perspective.
now we're in the middle of the movie where she's kind of accepted what's going on.
Yeah, and they start having
having
dude,
like a fun time together all the time.
and
doing all
the one is when they stole the plane. I love when they stole the
and
plane.
then they crashed it.
Yeah, they crashed it. They're like, "This is so fun," and they look there like, "Oh, we don't have gas." They just crashed the plane,
And then he said he didn't have sex with her. And then
yeah,
she
right.
find out he lied about it. And that's
Yeah.
when
That was after.
that's when she started to try to figure out how to get out.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah, she
yeah, she
disappeared.
wanted to
She
get
like
out again.
disappeared forever.
because what she was doing was going to the local library, getting all the physics books, and trying to learn,
And then she went on Skype with a bunch of particle
Oh,
physicists
yeah,
or
right,
whatever.
yeah.
and then learned enough that she knew more than that.
And he's like, sounds like you
don't need me
my
anymore.
help."
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
like
Sounds like you don't need me, he said. So, anyways, she finds out a way to get out, which is not explained.
And then she tests it on the goat, and then somehow the goat disappears, which we
Yeah,
discussed.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into
We're
that.
gonna work to
we're
that.
gonna get into that.
So during this whole time, Andy Samberg's character figures out that he's actually in love with her,
Which we all seen coming.
which everyone saw coming, and that he's trying to make up for everything. So he goes and visits the guy that he also trapped in there, and
Well, remember, he quit chasing him after she hit him with
the car, like he was not showing up. So he
Right.
went to go find him, found him at his house, and you find out is just like he's accepted.
that he's gonna live the same day over and over again. He's just
There's
making
no-
the best of it.
Yeah, there's no point in holding a grudge anymore because it's not going to change anything.
And then he goes like, so for an old time's sake, you want to shoot me?
Yeah, you want to kill me one more
Well,
time, bro?
listen,
He goes, I don't
Save
want
me the
to
dri-
have to deal with the drive
drive.
back. Whatever.
Yeah,
And he
it's a long
And
ride
he
back.
has
He
to stand in the
said.
trash can and shoots him in the heart with an arrow.
Well, listen, so like I know you guys don't hunt, but he shoots him with field tips. But listen, field tips, first of all, probably aren't going to kill you, and they're very, very blunt. They're not like these sharp objects, so it's
they're more rounded. But
yeah,
to be
right.
fair, he fired really close.
Yeah, like 2 feet away. I get it, but
So if he had the poundage on that percent pretty high, it's gonna kill him.
How many hunters are going to watch this movie? Do you think?
I don't
You?
know. I'm sure more than me have watched it. There's millions of hunters.
Well, I know there are, but this one, like,
How many of these hunters are going to go through all the extreme, like, that's not physically...
I bet you all of them. I bet you everyone who hunts is like, they're field tips.
And here we go with Greg's cult. The redneck movie cult. We're like, yeah, well, this can't happen with this because I heard it before.
Who says they're rednecks?
You know,
Everybody.
I mean, am I a redneck? Am I a redneck?
No, you're not.
That's what I mean. Like, where's this? What's
literally
this crap you're pulling
everybody-
out?
Look,
Almost every town around here has the day off for hunting season. I don't know what
okay,
you're talking about.
listen.
Yeah, every
If
time.
Dan is the transient hobo of the cinema that
I'm
I've
the
made up
redneck.
in my mind,
I'm the redneck.
you're the redneck who's going to start his own cult to debunk movie theories.
Well, you know.
And I'm going to be
Well,
kicking this shit
listen,
repeatedly.
we're getting ready to debunk this one right now.
Every month.
We're getting ready. We're getting ready to debunk this one right now.
Yeah.
So, Dan's first comment was, "Did they ever explain how the?" No, they never explained
Explain how any of
how
this actually
the cave worked. They
Like,
never explained why.
They
did
never
it.
explained the cave or anything, but they explained how the loop worked. That it was a box of energy that just
Well, they didn't explain that till later. So, so then she comes up with this theory that if she goes into the loop, that she has 3.5 seconds
before
it fully resets. And so during that 3.5 seconds, she has to blow
create
herself up, which creates
enough energy
to launch her out of the loop.
Uh-huh.
So she tests this on a goat.
And okay, here's the thing with that part. You have to go to the end of the movie to explain to anybody why the goat thing's important. Because to get out of the loop,
Yeah.
the guy who was
Roy.
shooting Roy was talking to Andy Samberg's character,
trying to make amends for everything.
but he didn't recognize him.
And he couldn't figure out-
So that's why the
Correct.
goat's significant, because it disappeared for no
The,
reason.
Yeah,
the goat
goat-
never comes back. So she lives the same day over and over again, but that goat that she tested her hypothesis on never comes back. That goat
Yeah.
just disappears.
You know,
out of
they
the
go
time,
back
out of
to
the,
that. Yeah,
out of the
time
timeline.
loop. But then when Roy goes to the wedding,
After they blown themselves
comes
up.
out, how they blow themselves out of the timeline. Andy Samberg character's at the wedding and does not remember anything.
And he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
According to what happened, he
Yeah,
shouldn't
right.
be there. He should be out of that timeline.
Yeah,
He's gone.
especially with what happened with the goat.
Right.
So they never set up the established rules of how this works, and it was extremely confusing.
Correct.
And then the other
Correct.
part is, the other part that I didn't understand was how Roy found out to get out of the timeline. She wrote him.
She wrote him a letter. Yeah.
So if it's a repeated timeline, and she
How does she know
that?
that? Yeah. Right.
How did it get to his house? Because by the time it would almost get to his house, the
How,
time-
how would she know where he lives?
exactly.
None of that is explained.
Yeah, she just happened to get the message to him.
Right.
Because number one, as soon as they okay,
Well, I guess she could. I guess she could look up the. I mean, I guess she could look up. She could look up the
Guest
guest registry. Yeah,
For the
right.
wedding.
but my question is, when they blow themselves up, they go to the beginning of the day that they were in the loop of, or the next day.
No, they went to the next day.
They went to the next
So
day.
there's no way she could have talked to
oh,
Roy ever,
Yes,
because he's not around.
exactly.
Well,
Not that Roy anyway.
no, but that's what I mean. That's what's so confusing about it. Like, he shouldn't have been there. So it should have been like Groundhog's Day. And
Right.
Groundhog's Day, he lives that day one more time,
Right.
and then the next day he wakes up.
Mhm.
Like, that's what it
I
should have
agree.
been. That's what it should have been. He should have lived that day one more time, and then the next day rolls around.
They're trying to be too clever with it,
Right.
And it didn't work.
And so if you're going to say that the goat is blasted out of the timeline and it never shows back up, well, Andy Samberg and her should have never shown back up.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good. I like that. But the thing is, I think they didn't want to do the Groundhog Day thing. They were being too clever, and then what they should have did was just leave the explosion in the portal thing there,
Yeah.
and that makes it different enough that the regular Groundhog Day thing wouldn't be a big problem. Because the Groundhog Day didn't explain nothing.
No, nothing is explained. Nothing at all. He just keeps living the same day over and over
And
again,
I
no
was
matter
okay
what.
with that too.
And then some random.
Right, yeah. I mean, well,
I hate when they try to pseudo explain.
Yeah, either don't explain it or explain
Yeah,
it
right.
all.
Just make it some phenomenon. Like, 'cause that's what they did in Groundhog Day. It was a phenomenon. They couldn't figure it out, didn't know why.
It was all about him accepting and like
Right.
being forced
Well,
to.
that's what I asked you. Is it gonna be like Groundhog's Day, where when they finally come to terms, with what's happening.
Nope, they just have to blow themselves up.
They kind of like they become like in Groundhog's Day, he becomes a better person. Like he's a crappy person in the beginning, like he's all selfish. Then at the end, he's like helping everybody. He's not
Right.
selfish no more. And I think in that movie, that was the point of the Groundhog's Day, him reliving that day
Because to
to
me,
be
the
a better
only
person.
explanation that could make sense for this would be there's some outside intelligence that governs the box that they're in.
Yeah,
Well,
you see
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
get that.
Speaking of stupid plot holes, the dinosaurs, were they just an illusion?
No, they were messed up on drugs. They were an illusion.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was just from the drugs or there actually was something new happening.
No, without a doubt. No, that's without a doubt.
That would be
that's the
extremely
drugs.
cool if it was something. Because that would give me the impression that there was something.
An outside. Outside.
Because that's the only explanation on why the goat disappeared. Because he let the thing let it happen.
Yeah.
You see?
I mean, I can get that, but there's nothing.
But that doesn't. But the only way you assume that is if you overthink it, like I am.
Right. Well, I mean, I think we're all overthinking though. Like,
No,
That's-
yours is like I like your plot better because
Yeah.
the Groundhog Day thing makes way more sense.
I mean, I just don't get how they skipped right to the next. They should have relived that day one more day.
Because if you relive the day, she'd have plenty of time
To tell
write
Roy. Yeah, right.
Because otherwise, if you go the next day, Roy doesn't exist,
Right. Correct.
or at least not that Roy doesn't exist.
Right. You're right. That's
Whatever.
why I said, did they get blown to a different timeline? How's this work?
I don't know.
He said, I don't know.
I don't know. So before I came in, because we kind of blew through that movie, I didn't think this movie would take that long to really put through, because it's not a very
12
deep
minutes.
movie. Yeah, I know. It's not a deep enough movie to sit there and fill up a half an hour with.
Yeah, we're criticizing it because it's not like Groundhog Day. Yeah, it's basically a gist of it, but still.
Well, I mean, they could have did it. All I'm just saying is they could have
Did so
did
much
it better.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Dan, were you a fan of Scanners?
I don't remember. Scanners. I don't remember Scanners.
I like it.
Your octave went like 10 times
I don't even
higher.
remember that one.
Because I had cupcake drip down my throat.
You shouldn't be eating during the show.
I will do as I please. As the captain of this ship,
I will go
down
down with
I will go down with this. Even if this podcast sits here me talking to myself and reenacting old 90s songs, I will.
You can have this brig and we can have this sloop and we're gonna leave.
Scanners is the one with Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, where they kind of have like psychic power things and blowing each other's heads up and stuff.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Really?
Nope. And I don't want to.
Oh, it's good.
I don't like Jack Nicholson, except in Chinatown because he gets beat up all the time.
You didn't like him in The Shining?
I didn't watch that movie either.
You never watched The Shining?
I don't like Stephen King generally, so I don't like his writing.
It
And I
sounds
don't
like
like
there
most
needs
of
to be
his
a
movies.
roster change here.
I could have went to that hotel, by the way.
I know, and I actually kind of want to go there one of these days.
Well, I didn't get to go, so
Which hotel is it?
It's out there.
the hotel that The Shining was actually filmed in.
I know what it's about. And I've seen scenes, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
It's a good movie. It's a good one. But
I had to pick and choose. There was like 5 different things in Colorado I wanted to do while I was going out to the Grand Canyon, and I picked 2 of them.
yeah, well, fair enough. They're doing a new show. I don't know if it's HBO Plus or Hulu. I can't remember which, but of Scanners. They're doing it like a.
Of course, they're doing a show. They're rehashing old stuff.
Everything's turning into a show anymore.
It's ridiculous.
Yes. Dan, did
Let's all watch Ms. Marvel. How about that? No. I know the answer's no, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Do you remember the movie?
that
I was
away.
talking about this to someone at work. Do you remember the movie Death Becomes Her
Oh, yeah. It's good.
with
Yes.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
I
it's
love
great.
that movie.
That's crazy.
It popped up on my app,
yes,
WIA TV,
that's a good one.
and I was like, man, I haven't seen that movie in forever. And I just remember the 2 women just beating the crap out of each other.
Like the one who breaks the other one's neck with a shovel.
Yeah, and her like she
The
has
other
to
one
keep
shoots
picking
the
her
other
neck
one.
up.
Yeah, because it's always broken now. And it doesn't heal. So it's just
She
constantly.
shoots the other one. Shoots the other one with a shotgun. She's got this huge hole in
I
her
thought it was a
stomach.
cannon.
No, it's a shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got this huge hole in her stomach.
And then the end when he's actually dead, they're trying to keep themselves together to fall apart.
Yeah, they're falling apart.
Bruce Willis had some good movies before he became an action star.
I mean, Die Hard was good.
Yeah, that's when it started, and then they stopped doing comedy. He just became Jack McClane and everything.
Here, Fifth Element.
Yeah, The Fifth Element was alright.
Yeah, it was the last
It's
one.
a cult classic.
Oh, what else did he do?
Like I said,
I guess I can't think
Death
of nothing.
Becomes
Yeah,
Her,
right.
Die Hard.
Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense was a good movie.
yeah, it was alright.
And Mr. Glass. That counts. That's the. Let's just put it on record right now. In the last 15 years, that is the only movie that M. Night Shyamalan
Shimanaman.
has not ruined.
What's a twist?
You
Yeah.
like The Becoming, or
No.
what's
No.
The Village.
What's the is The Becoming the one with
Red.
Wahlberg?
Red's a good movie though.
Oh,
Red's a good movie.
What's the one with Wahlberg where everyone like?
Oh, The Happening.
Oh, that's
The
right.
Happening.
I was thinking of The Happening.
That's what it is.
The Becoming's totally different. That's a good person.
Red's a good movie. I like the Red movies.
Oh,
I like John Malkovich in those movies. I don't really care
Because
about
he's the
him.
crazy
Yeah,
CIA.
he is weird.
Plus
Yeah,
MK
he's
Ultra
like
that was
crazy.
experimented all the time. So
He's my favorite guy.
I love the first.
I mean,
one where he's so-
Unbreakable is a good movie.
Yep.
I like Red because of him, Helen Mirren, and Brian Cox and their weird love affair thing.
Brian Cox is the Russian, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like,
Well, like in the second one, he's like laying around like
Oh, they have it-
and
yeah.
she's like shooting
Yeah.
a guy.
yeah, and he's like
smelling a flower.
no, he's
and
on her
sh-
shoes.
Is that what it
He's
is?
like-
Oh yeah, you're right.
he's
It
like
is
this,
her
he
shoes.
goes, I love the way your toes curl before you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And she's just shooting dudes and shooting like ricochets and bouncing and breaking people's handcuffs. And he's just like, oh, you romantic. And as he's in there, he's smelling her shoes like a weirdo. I love the second one. I like the first one with him, though,
Well,
where he kind of just shows up. Like,
Yeah.
he just shows up out of nowhere. And he's like, he just knew how she operates. So he just came and saved her because he already knew.
well, the
Right.
first one's better just because it's Morgan Freeman. It's kind of sad because he
Oh.
sacrificed himself.
Oh yeah, at the end there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he died way too fast. I was
Well, he was going to die in the movie anyways. Remember?
yeah.
He was dying of cancer or something.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was why he was like, well,
that's why I thought the first
Might as well
one
let
was
me.
good. And I also like the setup how like he was lonely because he was retired, so he had a relationship with the.
No,
for his credit card or something.
No insurance.
It was for
Oh,
his
is it?
like his pension or something.
Is that
Yeah,
what-
something like that.
I can't remember.
That movie's so awesome though. Like the very first action scene where he gets out of the car, when he starts to send it spinning, and he walks out of the car and starts shooting immediately.
I thought the first action scene was at his house when he blew up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The second one when he
Yeah, and then he goes to her house.
and he tries to save her.
Yeah.
and
Well,
gets
he
out of the
kidnaps
car.
her. He kidnaps her.
Well, she was already getting kidnapped by the CIA because they were after him. So they-
Well, no, he went to her house, and when she came in after work, he was in her house,
Oh yeah, and then they found her because she called the police trying to save herself.
and then he kidnapped her.
Yeah. And then she calls the police, thought it was safe, and then you
Right.
find out
Yeah.
that the CIA was trying to kill her. But John Malkovich's character, when they're in the airport, he's got the giant fluffy bunny.
Yeah.
And he grabs that chick by the face. He's like, she's been following us the whole time. And they're like, you're crazy. You're crazy. And then
And then
literally,
she
15
steps
minutes
out with
later,
the bazooka.
Yeah, she shows up with a bazooka trying to kill him. Hey, old man. Did he call me old man? No, respect these kids.
That was a weird.
It was a good movie. They were both good movies.
Yeah, yes. They're both really good.
It's rare that you find
yeah.
a sequel
because
sequel that's actually pretty
Yeah, because
good.
they brought what's his name in as the main villain.
Was that the second one where he shot the RPG round with a bullet?
No, that's first.
That's the
First
first one.
one I was
Yeah.
confusing.
The
yeah.
second one.
Well, that's the crazy lady. That's the that steps up with the bazooka.
Yeah.
She goes to shoot him with the bazooka, and he pulls out the
357
mag and shoots the
out of the
tip
bunny that he's been carrying the whole movie.
Yeah, this big pink rabbit.
I loved it. And then the second movie, I think, really brought him out where he's kind of like, he's not trying to live secluded, but he's now trying to live his best life, and he's hanging out with Bruce Willis's girlfriend, and they're going shopping and stuff together.
And he's like,
He's like, where'd you get that suit? He's like, fashion's ongoing thing. He goes, fashion never dies, and he's got the cravat on and stuff. He goes, is that a grenade in your pocket? He goes, yeah, but I was saving it for something drastic.
It is a good. They're good ones.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done anything. He hasn't really done anything since Red. Well, and he's done doing movies now because he has that.
The Expendables. Blah,
Oh,
blah, blah.
I don't count the Expendables.
The first one was fine. The second one was okay. The third one was unnecessary.
They're doing another one.
They're doing a fourth?
Yeah.
The third one was unnecessary.
Yeah, the third. I
Had
said third.
Had Ronda Rousey in it. I'm like, how good can it be?
Oh, the second one is with the Asian guy, right?
No, they both had Asian. All of them had
And Red.
Nope.
Yes.
The second one's where the Asian guy is chasing him down.
Yeah,
and killing
Han.
him. Yeah. That's the one with the nuke. That's the one with the nuke. Yeah.
It was the super nuke that Anthony Hopkins created.
Yes. Yeah.
And I loved him as a villain where he's playing like the crazy.
I think he always plays a great villain.
Yeah, he plays he's just a great actor.
Well, he's Hannibal Lecter.
Exactly. He's never coming back from that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he's played other guys, like mostly Mentor types.
He played in what the heck?
Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, he played in another movie where
Hearts in Atlantis.
he played in another movie where he's a priest and he gets possessed and he does an awesome job in that movie.
Oh, I actually just looked that up because when I was looking it up. So quick stop right there.
Anyways, you stopped me for a reason. What did you stop me for?
When we were talking about the one with Anthony Hopkins being possessed,
Yes.
that was in the list of like horror movie places that inspired horror movies.
Oh,
Where they filmed all that
haunted
stuff.
places,
Yes.
yeah.
What I want to do, and I've talked to you about it, and I talked to you about it, is sometime in October we should go visit one or two places that had inspirations for movies close by. Like,
I looked it up. You can't go see the Amityville Horror House no more.
yeah, I know because the people are whining.
breaking stuff.
No, the
Homeowners.
new homeowners renovated it, and they don't want people coming in and looking at it. And it used to be like a little thing where you could buy like a $20 ticket and walk through the whole house and the basement and stuff. Now whoever bought it now has it's like the eyeball windows in the back. They've gutted them and put real regular windows in. Like they changed the whole house, so it's not even like you're looking at the same.
Yeah. And there was a couple other places. Centralia's off limits.
Centralia's out because everyone during COVID were idiots.
What did they do this time?
Well, they were like, because everyone was telling them to stay home, they wouldn't stay home, so they kept going to what's it called, Graffiti Highway that leads into Centralia.
And then they started having parties.
And they were like, destroying the road. So
yeah, people were like taking hammers and breaking pieces.
Because they like wanted pieces of the Graffiti Highway to take with them. So like the city came in and put like those semi blockades up, so people couldn't get like in there, and the people were like breaking those and getting in. So they just said, F it, and they put in like actual barricades so people can't even get in no more.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well, you got that.
We could. It's just not.
I'd rather not anyway.
You got the. Like I said, you have that mental hospital we can go to.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Right? Did you already thought that one?
Yeah.
I looked it up. Top 10 scariest places in PA to go to, and I had a list here.
Yeah, I have a list at work too, because I wanted to be tied with like cinema. The one you're talking about had some inspiration for House on Haunted Hill, but it was.
Oh yeah, the house.
There was like 6 other places that all had to do with that together.
There's a graveyard. I can't remember where the graveyard's at, but that's the inspiration for The Walking Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Which is a movie classic, which I'd be okay with. And there's also a mine that's not too far from there that was for the Day of the Dead, which was the sequel. So I think that's going to be our Halloween thing we're going to do. We're going to
that's fine.
Check that out.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than my other idea, which you missed out on. I wanted us to dress up like the Scooby Gang.
No, that went nowhere.
Scooby
That
Gang.
literally went nowhere.
And you were going to be Fred.
Okay.
And Dan was going to be Velma.
And you're going to be Scooby. Because you are going to have to be on all fours to be shorter than anyone. Because you're the tallest person in his room.
Oh, the Elysburg Haunted House.
It makes no sense.
They say the Elysburg Haunted House is one of the most haunted places in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I don't know if it has anything to do with a movie, but we'll have to look it up.
Yeah, so
all
I have
haunted houses are related to movies.
Yeah.
I have a Scooby-Doo head, and we were just going to get you a white sweater with a
handkerchief.
Yeah, not a handkerchief.
Yeah.
And then we were going to get Dan an orange sweater, and he was going to be
Were you gonna spin?
No, we haven't been doing that. Oh yeah, we've been doing that.
What do you mean?
Greg?
Why?
Right?
Are you confused about which person's tormenting
Yes.
you right now?
After the slip up, I already had.
Whose turn to spin?
It's either mine or yours, Dan.
Yeah, you spun last time, Dan. So go ahead, Kyle.
All right, ready? Yeah!
You got your random generator.
I can. It's not hard.
Hero.
Oh. Isn't something coming out really soon here?
You can always spin it again.
No, Hero's good
That's what we did last time.
Yeah.
Because we got independent.
Yeah.
And those we keep getting like indie stuff.
Hero.
Or like avant-garde or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I say,
What we might as well do. We might as well just say all month of October we do horror.
yeah, that's definitely for October. But for this time, we'll just find.
It's going to be October by the time the next one comes around anyway.
Is it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought we were
Yeah,
just
2
going
weeks.
to be on the
2 weeks.
clasp of it.
So by the time the next one comes,
Okay.
Only 8
In the meantime, we'll just find something like related to this, just to have a sidebar if we don't get to, as a backup, if we don't get to the actual.
well, no, but I mean we have one for this week coming though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So.
For the next show we'll have something to talk about,
Yeah.
and then we'll just do all horror for the month of
Oh,
October.
we can just do the Batman Halloween special. I don't know.
We watch all the Batman in succession.
Who knows?
Yes.
So we're going with Hero.
There's the long Halloween.
Because aren't we in the about to see Black Panther, the second one? And
I don't think that comes
Black
out.
Adam.
I don't think that comes out until next year.
No, it comes out this year.
The Black Panther 2?
Yes.
I don't think-
That's December.
I think that's 2023.
No,
but
it's December. I'm almost guaranteeing it. But we'll look that up. Other than that, our Discord is finally up and our Teespring store is up. It is on there. You can order from it. I don't know how long
how
it's
is
going
it
to...
finally running?
It's finally running mostly. I still haven't fixed the shirt issue, but I'm going to work on
Black Panther is November 11th.
No.
This year.
it. When's Black Adam?
I have no idea.
I think that's sooner because that's been blown.
That's October something.
Okay. In the meantime, I'll find something interesting. Maybe more She-Hulk. I don't know. We'll find it.
Black
October
21st. October 21st.
Oh, well, we'll be well into our other stuff.
Spooky Vision.
Spooky Vision.
Barbara Streisand.
So you have nothing to announce to tell us to watch right now.
Nothing right now. I will post it on our
No,
Discord. and
you are
Facebook.
gonna text me because
I will
am
text
not
you,
gonna
old
be
man.
on your.
I know,
I will get my rotary phone.
He knows not to say it's on the website. And he's gonna be like, "This is the movie we're watching."
Because I'll get my old rotary phone for Dan.
See this? Shut up.
All right. So everyone have a good night.
See you guys.
Bye.
Happy birthday!